Hi, my rays of light, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman. As for all of you, I hope all of you moms that are moms and dads are taking the role of mom and dad had a happy Father's Day. And all of you gentlemen listening in that are fathers, I hope that you had a beautiful and happy Father's Day. And I want to thank you all, my rays of light. I did announce the contest winners for this month. And for the giveaway for reaching 24K, I was going through some personal things with ex friendships and this weekend, and also battling an ear infection. So I have not been feeling very well, and so I'm taking care of myself first and foremost. And I advise anyone out there that is going, that's working and that gets sick, to take care of yourself. Listen to your body, because ultimately we are responsible for our own selves. No one is responsible for us, and we need to take care of ourselves. Mind, body, and spirit. And I am doing a little better. I'm still not 100%. So for those of you that may have booked a reading, today is the last few hours of my sale. It's basically, if you want to get a book a reading right now, I'm offering 15% off of any reading using promo code FATHER. That's capital FATHER. Just the capital F, and the rest is all lowercase. And enter that upon checkout, and you'll get 15% off of any reading. So if you were ever wanting to get a reading, right now would be the good time. Again, this video is being uploaded this afternoon on Monday, and so the reading ends at midnight. The sale ends at midnight. But still, the show must go on, and I am a trooper, so I am here, and I'm going to be giving you some much needed insight, because I've had a lot of my rays of light come to me over the last couple of days and weeks, and there's a lot of panic right now going on in the Dominican Republic regarding what is going on with a lot of these mysterious tourist death, American tourist death, and what is going on in with David Ortiz. I believe it was David Ortiz, very popular celebrity to the Dominican Republic that was recently shot. And so there's a lot of paranoia, whether it's safe. And so I'm going to just give you the psychic insights I see. I'm going to kind of keep this video a little short, again, because not feeling too well. I'm still in the min, but I wanted to definitely touch base so that all of you that are out there worried know exactly what's going on. So when I get into the energy behind all of this, I can tell you that there are certain locations here on Earth that are full of vortexes and portals, whether a lot of people believe that or not. And the Dominican Republic is not exempt from that. There are, anywhere on Earth, basically there's thousands and millions of portals everywhere. What a portal is, it's like a gateway or an opening to another dimension, and a lot of energies can come in. Multi-dimensional beings from other planets can come in through that portal. And so with the Dominican Republic, I see a lot of portals coming, open, and a lot of energy that is negative surrounding it. And you have to understand, Haiti is not far from that. So there's a lot of magic. The Dominican Republicans or Dominicanos are very well versed in magic, and that's with any culture. But I feel like there is a certain uproar. There's an angst among the Dominicanos and among U.S. citizens and just other international visitors right now. So it's a culmination of the Dominican people as well as people that are strangers or tourists visiting the island. And I call it an island, but I do feel like the government of the Dominican Republic government is aware of all of this. However, I don't feel like they are the ones that are the ones perpetuating, or I don't know if that's even the correct word, that are behind all of this. And I don't feel like this is the U.S. government either behind all of this kind of tension. I get more or less that there are other powers here that are people that are very powerful and in powerful positions, but ultimately there's a lot of darkness behind a lot of this. And I guess what I'm alluding to is like the cartel, things like that. And I feel like they are wanting to um, scare away a lot of tourists because their fear that right now that there is in some type of secret spies or investigations going on to bust these criminals that are at large, because there's a lot of criminals that are living in the Dominican Republic, and I'm not talking about native Dominicans. I'm talking about gangsters, like big, big, powerful people that I'm talking about that have money and would basically eliminate someone without any mercy. So that's the kind of people I'm talking about, hiding in the beautiful country of the Dominican Republic. And again, I guess, you could say that that applies anywhere in the world right now, but I see that that is going on, and it's almost like they are wanting to hide. I mean, they're wanting to scare off American tourists because they want to keep kind of like, I don't know if what they're doing on the island, but I do get there's like a secret place somewhere near the coast of, like, sort of like this picture here, on one of the northeast areas of the island, and there would be some activity that's illegal going on there. I don't know if the U.S. government is aware of this, or they would ever, or the Dominican Republic government is aware of this, and there may be some people from the government, in the Dominican Republic government, that are aware of it. But I do feel like there's also a psycho serial killer that is on the loose, and is targeting a lot of people that are tourists. And American tourists, are easily able to be identified. I mean, most of them speak perfect English, and the Dominican Republic, the primary language, if I'm not mistaken, is Spanish. So it's like, it's Spanish, and then there's a lot of people that speak English, but you can identify a tourist. They're not familiar with the island. They're going to be asking directions. They're going to be hanging out in resorts. They're going to be hanging out in packs. It's kind of easy to, identify who is a visitor. And so I feel like they're targeting this serial killer that is on the loose, will be caught eventually, but that person is targeting a lot of people over a specific amount of time. And so, yeah, I feel like a lot of these mysterious deaths and stuff is poison. And this person has access to pharmaceuticals. Again, I feel like they are not working alone, and they have other people, but is it safe right now for people to go to visit the Dominican Republic? I would say right now that the energy that I get, and I'm just being honest here, I don't want to, create any kind of fear or fear-based, but I really feel like right now Americans should really, or anyone internationally that is not from the Dominican Republic, should kind of, hold off on traveling. I do feel and foresee that within 2 to 3 months, a lot of this is going to cease and the energy is going to improve. But right now, there's a lot of magic. The ancestors, the spiritual ancestors from the Dominican Republic, a lot of the natives there, I'm talking about this, about, being ancient magic, ancient energy to this island, to the Dominican Republic. A lot of the ancestors are very angry and upset. There's a lot of magical or spiritual warfare going among even people that live there and the Dominican. Now, I don't know anyone from the Dominican, but anyone that's tuning in from the Dominican that is listening to this can attest that the energy is not good. There's violence every day. There's rape. There's violence. There's shootouts. There's a lot of violence, and that's anywhere in the world. But I feel like it's even more so here in the Dominican Republic. And a lot of the Dominican Republic looked sort of like to get away from their country, because even though they love it, there's really, the cost of living there is not good when it comes to pay, what they're paid, their wages, and just things, they don't have accessibility like we do here in the USA. So their way of living is a little bit more humble than the USA and other, countries that are much larger, and we have more access and accommodations than a lot of the Dominican Republic. And so a lot of the natives there are really kind of, upset at the government. They're upset at the people in power and asking, like, when are they going to be able to, improve a lot of these systems that need to be improved so they can have, a lot of the things that that we have today, and that we, are privileged to have here in the USA. But I see a lot of death, and I see that continuing for anybody that would be touring. I'm not saying that every tourist, of course, is going to be targeted, but there will be a select few. And what I'm getting from this is that the person that would be the serial, crazy person, they go after typically Caucasians, visitors. And I want to say they go after happy couples that are happy together. But they change up their MO, they change it up, and it's all dependent. But I feel like they're going after some people that are really like more in their late 20s, maybe 30s and 40s, and even up to their 60s. Like, that's kind of the range that they would be targeting. I don't feel like they would target children, but again, I don't know how many deaths of American tourists. I don't know all that information, but y'all asked me to do this, so I'm giving you what I see. Behind all of this is, I feel like there are people that are, at powers that be, that are very happy about all of this. And again, a lot of darkness, a lot of devilish energy behind all of this. So again, this is spiritual warfare. Like I said before, this is spiritual warfare of good and evil forces of darkness and light that's battling. But a lot of this is going to be closing. The portals are going to be kind of shifting around, and I feel like there's a lot of ancestors that are going to be coming together and converging to create peace in the Dominican Republic. But yeah, that is definitely what I see here. I would say if you are, and you've already spent your money to go and be in the Dominican Republic, do so. Don't be afraid. But if you have plans and you haven't already put deposit or money, see if you can get a refund and try to avoid it at least for the next 2 to 3 months. I feel like the summer of 2019 is not a good time until like the fall or winter months, and it would be safer to go into the Dominican Republic. And if you do go, I feel like there's going to be certain areas that you should maybe avoid, and these would be areas that are kind of, do your investigation, that are really kind of more on the poor side, and not really like expensive hotels, because I feel like the more expensive resorts or hotels that you would be booking would be a lot better for people to kind of stay at. It would be safer. Again, I feel like a lot of this activity is only targeting certain areas more so than others, but that's the insight and energy that I get right now. I want to thank y'all so much for allowing me to do this reading. And if you would like to book a private psychic reading with me, again, go to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Psychic Medium Ray. And don't forget to hit like on this video, and also to hit that red subscribe button, as well as that notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish on this channel. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.